Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Childhood Finds. Thank you for joining me for my weekly What Sold video. And this week I did vacation mode for a few days. So my sales aren't amazing, but I did have some pretty decent sales. And I did a very limited vacation mode. I did as short as possible so that my sales could still keep moving on eBay. I didn't do any sort of vacation on my Poshmark or Mercari because I was still going to be able to ship within 3 business days, so I just left those on. And it was great being able to get away for a little bit. I was pretty much out of service for about 4 days, and it was a really nice feeling. But I am very behind in everything because then, of course, right when we got back, a transformer blew by our house and our little block, all without power for the full day of over 100 degrees as well. And by the end of the day, when they finally got it on, like in the very late evening, it was 90 in our house. So I didn't get anything done yesterday like I had hoped to. So I'm a little behind, but catching up. I do have some decent sales to share with you. Next week, I am planning to do the how much my paycheck is. So the deep dive into how much I made off of each item. I also am going to do another short video this week, probably not anything. It's not going to be a research video or anything probably super exciting, but something that I hope will be kind of valuable to look at for some people. So let's go ahead and get started in some sales. And then if you did anything fun for the holiday weekend, the 4th of July, let me know in the comments. I went camping and my dogs were able to go, so it was a lot of fun. Hot, but a lot of fun. I also did want to say I have not been as good about responding to messages and comments and things like that because last week I was preparing to camp, then I camped, and then I didn't have power. So I'm very behind in all of that and all of YouTube stuff. So I will be trying to catch up this week, but just know I'm not forgetting about you or ignoring your comments if you've made comments and I haven't responded. So let's go ahead and get started. So this first one, this flatware set, I actually had a buyer buy 4 different sets of the same pattern, but why I wanted to share each of them is the first 2 you're going to see are one purchase from them. And this one's a Reed & Barton Kendrick Gold Beaded Stainless Flatware Soup Spoon set of 6. It sold, I believe, for a best offer of $23.15. And then this one also sold for a best offer of $23.15. And then the buyer went ahead and paid full price or paid the $23.15 plus shipping on both of them before I had the chance to combine shipping. So all I did was I sent them a message, let them know that I will be refunding them some money after I ship it. And then so I did that, and as soon as I did and got it in the mail and it got to them, they were happy and purchased 2 more. And so that's why I also do that combined shipping, even though they don't ask, is it does bring back customers. I don't know that I would have got those 2 more sales if I hadn't done that. So it was definitely worth it for me to do that. I'll show you the forks that I sold later, but it's the same pattern. But both of these sets sold for over $46, and the other set sold for about $46 as well. This one I picked up at an estate sale for $2. I believe I showed it in the haul video that I did a while back. And it's Star Spangled Splendor 2012 Jim Shore Heartwood Creek. Anytime I see Jim Shore, especially stuff in the box that's a decent price, I like to pick it up. This was big, but it was pretty easy to pack. And I do want to reiterate, I always put this, even though it's boxed, I always put it in another box, because some people want the box in good condition as well, and to give it extra protection. I still don't think it would survive in shipping just in this styrofoam and the flimsy box alone. So I always add some packing material around it and then box again. And this one did sell for the full asking of $39.95. I tend to put most items as used, but this one I put as new other because it had absolutely not been displayed. Everything was still in the plastic. There was still packing material in it. So I put it as new other, and it sold very quickly from getting it, less than a month. This I've had for at least a year to a year and a half. I got it in an online auction for a few bucks. And it's The Story of Our Civilization, Robinson, William Wise & Co., 1934, 3-volume set. Sold for $22.95. Not my best sale, but I got this auction lot from a local auction to me that I don't shop from very often because pretty much every time I've gone there, there has been something wrong with the lot. And they save themselves by saying you can come down and view all the items, but I feel like giant flaws they should put in a description. Because I've gone down there and when I bought a whole bunch of Wedgwood, I had 10 pieces that had breaks and chips in it that were not disclosed or shown at all. They were just turned slightly so you couldn't see it. And I think that's shady. And they do that to a lot of people and on a lot of things. So I tend to not go unless I could go down and see. This book lot came from a box of books where 90% of the books had water damage, so it didn't end up being a great price for it. So just definitely be careful with local auctions. You should go down and see. I don't expect them to be eBay listings because they have a lot of work to do and to list everything, but I do expect if there is a handle missing on a giant picture that you're going to show it. I mean, little things like that. But either way, that's not important. But that's why I tend to be careful with my local auctions and auctions in general, because if you can't go down and see it and touch it and feel it, you don't know exactly what condition you're going to be getting this in. This one I just picked up at a yard sale for $5, listed it for $70 and sold overnight. It's a Canon PowerShot A540 digital camera, 6 MP point and shoot. Tested, it came with an SD card, so I just included it in the listing, why not? And sold so quickly. And these pretty much always do, as long as you, even for parts and not working, just make it very clear if it's not working. I always sell them very quickly, if I can find them. This one I picked up at a yard sale for about $5. It's a Willow Tree, The Holy Family by Suzanne Lordy, and it's Mary, Joseph, and Jesus from 2010. Does not have a box, but it did sell for a best offer of $25. This I picked up at a Goodwill, I believe for $1.99, and it's the Whispering Garden Collection Heart Drawer Pull, Elaine Vogel. And let me see if I can show you a picture of it in the knot. I thought I showed it out. It's kind of hard to see the coloring of it because the plastic had yellowed, but it's just a single drawer pull. And it is cute. This one I just took a best offer of $12 because I was ready for it to go. I paid $1 for it. It's a Hollywood Regency stand-up metal picture frame lattice design, gold with cream wash. 12 bucks. Not my best sale ever, but it was fine. This I picked up at a yard sale for $5. It was new. It's a Rebel 172 scale CH-47 Chinook helicopter model kit. And the number 4419, you can usually find a number of some sort on model kits that'll help you identify them. This did sell for a full asking of $30 within a couple of weeks. This has been listed forever. So when I got an offer of $7.50, I said, okay, I'm ready for it to leave. And it's a Disney baby, Winnie the Pooh, baby's first Pooh Bear plush red sweater rattle. I paid, I think, 50 cents for it at a yard sale. Not my best buy, but again, a lot of plush is an item that does stick around in your store and is long tail. And what I mean by long tail, if you're not sure, it's typically an item that'll stick around for 6 months or more. And that was definitely this item. This I picked up in my tote of action figures where I picked out a few of them and then went, this is Sarah's problem during the winter because it's too much to deal with right now. I picked out a few things that would make me my money back, and this is one of them. And it's a G.I. Joe Manimals Warwolf action figure, vintage Hasbro with weapons, sold for $30 on a best offer. Sorry, excuse me. I can definitely tell I was in the woods because my allergies have been destroying me this week. Oh, excuse me again. This is a vintage Build-A-Bear gray elephant 16-inch stuffed plush Tusk Sea-Pick Sounds. Sold for $14.95. I paid $3 for it at a thrift store. It's been around for a couple years. I would not pick it up again. And, it just wasn't a great sale. It sat for a long time and it's big. It's 16 inches and it wasn't real squishable. So I tend to not do too many Build-A-Bears because they are quite large, and tend to only sell in the $8 to $15 range. A lot of them, but not all. I've sold some good ones as well. This is the Cinnabar Adjustable Ring Floral Enamel Accents marked Silver Vintage Filigree. Sold for best offer of $38 and I paid 50 cents. It is a lower offer than what I was expecting, but I paid 50 cents for it and I'm fine making 38 on that. And also, just when I talk about the Cinnabar, is this red here. Cinnabar refers to the coloring. And it's something that if you can find the real stuff, the real Cinnabar, it's really good money. I'm sorry, my camera keeps adjusting to the light. I don't have good lighting in here right now because I'm doing this during an awkward time of day, a time I don't usually do. So if it keeps going in and out, I apologize. This one is a Disney Parks Authentic Attractionistas 12-inch doll Pearl Pirate of the Caribbean. Sold for a best offer of $30 and I picked it up for $3 at an estate sale. This is a Disney Store exclusive Eeyore Winnie the Pooh with butterfly keychain, silver tone. This sold for $8 on a best offer. I had the buyer frustrated because I couldn't ship it cheaper. I just explained to them why I couldn't ship it cheaper. And also I explained to them I pass along my discount to the buyer, as well as they were trying to tell me to do it in an envelope. But you can't do this in an envelope because it's not gonna lay flat. Oh man, the lighting's so bad. Okay, I'm just gonna keep adjusting this. I'm sorry, guys. So it sold for $8, which I'm totally fine with. But this couldn't go eBay standard envelope because it would have been too thick. And I've had so many things returned doing that I am very careful what I send through that, but it is a very useful program for the things it's good for, like postcards, trading cards, etc. This is a Wagnerware Sydney Magnolite roaster Dutch oven with lid, no trivet. Make sure to include that because these, check what they come with because you want to have that in the title. I took a best offer of $75 for this and I paid $8 at a yard sale and it took a couple weeks to sell. These sat with me for much longer than I thought they would be because I thought they were very neat, and it's a set of 2 SPI San Pacific International Metal Mermaid Hanging Wall Hook, 6 inches. And it sold for a best offer of $21 because they'd been sitting for a very long time. I picked them up for $1 each at a yard sale. But again, people love to collect mermaid stuff. There are a lot of mermaid collectors out there, but these just didn't tickle anybody's fancy for a long time. And I could have just had them priced too high. That's always a possibility. This is the Valdez, Alaska. RPPC is Real Photo Postcard. Postcard 2 Working Dogs in Town Antique. And this sold for a best offer of $6.55. I need to get some more postcards listed. I have some more left. I'm hoping to find some more this year, but this is something that I use the eBay standard shipping on, and typically it costs about 60 to 70 cents to ship a single postcard. So it's very affordable to the buyer and you can still make some money. This is a Once Upon a Time 8x8 scrapbook album with matching paper, fairy tale, and it sold for $19.95, the full asking price, and I believe I paid $1 for this at a yard sale, and it took quite a fair amount of time to sell, probably about 6 months. This is an Adidas men's red black Portland Timbers hat baseball cap, size large, extra large, and it sold for a best offer of, I think it is $10.83. I can always tell when people are trying to make an even number because they'll send me those really weird offers because they want to make it an even number when tax and shipping are included. And I picked this up for $1 at a yard sale, so that was a fine offer. This is a cloisonne brass enamel base 5-inch flower floral pattern, and it sold for $14. I love picking up cloisonne. A lot of it is not big money, but it's another weakness of mine, along with Wedgwood. But it sold for $14 and I paid $1. And it was just a cute little 5-inch one, so very teeny. This is a brass bunny rabbit coin bank figurine paperweight, sold for a best offer of $20, and I just picked this up a week or two ago at an estate sale for a couple of dollars. This is the other set of flatware that I sold. It's the salad forks, and this one was a best offer of $21. And then the dinner forks, which was a best offer of $24.15. So again, I combined the shipping for the buyer, and I can definitely tell that doing that is what made it so I got these other sales. So it is always helpful to do that. I completely understand some people that don't combine it, but I've always found it's better for me to do so because it does lead to more purchases on my part on occasion. And this is just a single little My Little Pony, and it's a 2005 Daisy Paisley Pretty Patterns Ombre Pony, purple blue. I have very few ponies left from my pony buy, but I do still have some sitting around in my store, and I paid 51 cents for this. It's been listed over a year now and sold for $10. And then I just had 2 sales off of eBay this week, and this one was an ornate small oval brass tone metal Victorian style women fabric print decor pair. These would surprise, I think, most people that they're worth some money. So this sold for $23, and these are less than 4 inches tall for both of them. Let me show you the picture. So these I come across on occasion, and especially if you can lot them up, it's totally worth it, because I paid 50 cents a piece for these, and then they sold for $23 on Mercari, which means I made $23 on it, minus the 50 cents. So if you see these out there, definitely worth checking out. This is a pair of brass anchor bookends made Hong Kong Library Beach nautical decor, just some extra keywords. It sold for a best offer of $18 on Poshmark, and I picked these up at a yard sale, or no, it was an estate sale for a couple of dollars. So not a bad sale, but nothing big. So these are my sales for the week. I had other sales than this. I had a lot of smaller sales, which were totally fine. They added up pretty well this week. I didn't quite hit my goal this week, but it was a holiday weekend, and I have to factor in, I only worked 3 days this week over my usual 24/7 basically. So I only worked 3 days, and it worked out pretty well. And so I look forward to making next what sold for how much I made this coming week. And then I'll try to get one more video out this week. As always, thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you on the next one.